Hi everyone! Well, my friend Nina Young has launched a new stamp company which is called Waffle Flower, and she has some cool stamp sets in her first release that you have to check out. One of them is the Rock My World stamp set that's very unique with all these rocks. So today I'll show you how I created a clean and simple card that's quick and easy to replicate, and it's also masculine. I'm working on a standard card that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 that I have created out of white cardstock. And just because these are rocks, I really don't mind if the stamp impression isn't perfect. It really works well when it comes to rocks, just because those splotches will work as highlights later on. I'm using the Slate ink pad by Simon Says Stamp, and I've used 3 of the rocks. And as I was stacking them one on top of the other, whenever I was using the same rock twice, I made sure to switch position, like turn them over, so they don't look alike. And now there is this line that comes in the stamp set that can be used as a stem for the flowers, or you can use it as a shade. And that's what I'll be doing here. So I created a shade at the bottom so that those rocks don't look like they are floating. And now I'm trying to create a curve on my block, and I'll use the same ink and stamp over the rocks just to create some shading between them. In the same stamp set there is a sentiment that says "You rock my world", which I'm going to use now, but I make sure to stamp only the "You my world" with the same grey ink, and then I'll stamp the word rock with another ink. So I'm using my Stamp-A-Magic just to make sure that I'll be stamping at the same place twice. I have inked my sentiment with Slate ink, and now I'm cleaning only the word rock. So I'm making sure that my ink is well inked now, and I'll be stamping using the Stamp-A-Magic. Now I have this gap over there which I'm going to fill in. So I'm using Lemon Chiffon by Simon Says Stamp, and this is another color from their new released ink pads, which I think goes perfectly with the Slate grey ink pad. And with the help of my Stamp-A-Magic, I stamped again at the same position and filled in the gap. I'm not sure if you can see the lemon color there, since it's so pale and I have too much lighting, but make sure to check out the photos at the end. Now I have this tiny heart, which is a die also by Waffle Flowers, and I'm going to cut it out on one of these rocks. I'm doing that just to accent my rocks and add some interest on them, and then I'll go ahead and cut out this tiny little heart out of this yellow cardstock. This cardstock is also by Simon Says Stamp and matches perfectly the lemon ink that I've used earlier. I'll keep those little pieces for later on, and first of all I'm going to stick the white panel on top of the lemon piece there. But first I'll use a pencil and make a note of that hole there, so I know exactly where that hole falls over my lemon cardstock. Now I'll use my glue glider at the back of my white panel and stick it on top of the lemon, and also I'm making sure that just behind that hole there is enough adhesive. So now that everything is in place and my main panel is matted, I'll go ahead and stick down those little pieces. I'm also using my quick stick, which is great for picking out small pieces. And as always, you can find a detailed list of all the supplies I'm using just below the video, whether you are watching on YouTube or on my blog. I decided at this point to stick that panel I created a little bit offset, and I'm doing that just to make my card more interesting to the eye. I've seen a lot of people doing this lately, and it seems that it's a trend, so I'll go for it. The cardstock I'm using is also Slate, and it matches my ink pad perfectly, the grey ink pad, and it's also by Simon Says Stamp. And now I'm using my scissors to cut out whatever sticks out, and my card is almost ready. But as you know, little details really make the card. So since I had these little pieces on my desk, I didn't want to waste them, and I decided to stick that yellow little heart on the inside. And finally, I'll add some highlights on the rocks. I did that using my Colorbox pigment white ink, and also one of the stamps that were included in the kit that is just a line. You can use it as a stamp or for shading or highlights, as I did here. I made sure that although that line was straight, I stick them on my block in a curved position. So I'm just adding highlights, and I also make sure that I won't touch my card for a while, since this is pigment ink and it takes a while to dry. And that was the card for today. I hope you had fun and got inspired to create a clean and simple card that works great for men too. Thank you all for watching.